What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Charts and Chats episode. What are we on? Episode 39. I think we are on now, which is crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna take the thing off for you guys. Get right on into it right away. Alright, hopefully this ain't laggy low key. My camera's on the right side this time, so I'm gonna just have my camera with everyone else. So we're gonna see how well this is. We're gonna see what's up. Alright, we about to get right on into it, but it is Charts and Chats episode 39. Yes, it is 39. We're gonna see what happens. Let's see, and I will keep you guys updated with me. And I also have what I added, guys. If you look to the right corner, I added like a little thing for my profit. So I have just like my toolbox from MetaTrader on the left side of my screen over here. So we're gonna see. Let's see what happens. But while we wait for people to join my mentorship call, we're going to wait and we're going to slowly start to mark up what is happening. First time I'm on the chart all morning, so let's see. I'm gonna mark up the previous Asian range. Okay, make this perfect. Got that OCD. Alright, so we got our Asian range. I'm gonna mark up the previous day's high, which is right here. And I'm gonna mark up the previous day's low, which is right here. As of right now, we are pushing bullishly from London session, so I'm going to be keeping that in mind. This is from there to there. Alright, I'm gonna pull my fib from this low right here during the Asian session to the high created right here during 4:30 in the morning, which was early, I would say pre-New York session, honestly. But as of right now, what I'm potentially looking to do is wait for price to come lower to look for possible trade ideas to go higher. But I'm going to be waiting until around 9:15, 9:30 to take my trade. So we're just going to be patient today. We're going to wait. Let me look for reasons to believe price will have reaction. So I'm going to go to higher time frame. First thing I notice is we got this 1 hour order block right here. Just like that, we got that 1 hour order block right in confluence to that 70.50%. And I'm gonna put I'm gonna mark up the 50% of that order block so I have an idea where my stop loss should ideally be at. But I'm trying to wait till 9:30 today to take these trades, so I'm not gonna be rushing anything. My fib is from this low to this high. And let's see. Right now, I have a great idea what I want to see happen. Let's mark up the 12 a.m. open, which is right here. Yeah, this would be a clean area to look for buys. So honestly, I might not even wait till that 9:30 because this is my bread and butter setup that I like to see. If you guys have watched my bread and butter setup video, so ideally, I'm going to be waiting for price to come a little bit lower. I'm going to be looking for a reaction at this area for me to potentially look to go long on price. That's ideally what I'm looking to do. So let's see if we can do that. Let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Damn, first thing I notice is price is very, very bearish right now. We're in need of a deer pullback to the top side. Yeah, price looks like it's gonna be coming down to there. We cleared the liquidity. Did we clear this low? We cleared this low. Oh. By like a pip. So now price is moving higher. So ideally, we should be looking to, I'm looking to be bullish ideally. But everything could change, you know. So let's go to this daily perspective. You can see this is what's happening on the daily time frame. Price came up, now it's moving lower. So now we have this area down here around 62% at around 35,880 and the 70.50% around 35,800, which ideally price could look for a potential reason to short if we do move higher in price again. But ideally, a good area to short is up here. Why? Because this would be filling in that gap between these candles for price to then ideally and possibly come lower. So where is this at? 36.45. 36.45 is right up here. So ideally, if we're able to catch that trade higher, we should be able to do that. What's going on, Marion? Nah, you good, you good. I haven't really done much. It looks like a simple day as of right now. I already see what I ideally want to see. Like, just based off of you, I'm gonna be waiting till 9:30 today. Just the fact that I've been getting clapped the fuck up. Like, I've been getting caught in consolidation, so I'm gonna wait till 9:30. Whatever happens, happens. If I miss a trade, it is what it is. But since it's just us right now, since we got time, ideally, I'm gonna just have you mark up the chart. So if you want, I'm gonna make you host. You're gonna share your screen. I'm just gonna watch you how you would mark up, just straight you. So don't even look at mine. I'm gonna hide this shit. Don't even look at that. I'm gonna make you host. I'm gonna see how you gonna mark it up. Yeah. Nah, all right, you good. How would I do it? Oh, it's right there. No cap. Trying to get active. Not cap. I'm trying to go to the gym. Here, I'm gonna make you host. Yeah, that's what I do. I used to do them at night, but I like to come on with a clean eyes and just look at everything how it is. Everything always changes. You know what I mean? And it's always good just to keep marking. I just always like marking up. I don't know. I mark up my chart once in the morning, once at night, and that's really it. All I do. Cause after I'm done trading, I clear my charts after I journal it and everything. Then when I come back later on in the day around like 11, that's when I do like the daily range. And then after that, I do the daily range. I put that in my journal also. Then I just delete it. Like I look at it for like 5 minutes just to look at what happened during the day. But overall, I don't really do much with it. Now you should be able to share your screen now. Do you have a bar at the top? I'm not even sure. I know how it works for me being a host, but I'm not sure how it works as a participant, like looking to share the screen. Look here, you've done it before, so I'm not sure. You know how. You just have to remember. Yeah. I can see like in the camera. That's funny. Nah, you good. We got time. We got till 9:30. There we go. Mm-hmm. Nah, you good. Do exactly what you do. I just want to see your mindset, like when you do it, like what you're thinking. Weekly low. Mm-hmm. Do you use the histogram at the bottom? The histogram, the chart, or the indicator at the bottom, or is that volume? I thought that was like the histogram. Hmm. Yeah, I like to do it like on a 15-minute. I usually start in the lower time frame first. That's what I do. Like, it's different than a lot of people that I've noticed. A lot of people do top-down analysis. I'm low-key like a bottom-up analysis, which is weird, but I still look at every time frame, so it doesn't change too much. One, you know the magnet on the left? If you use that, it'll go straight to like the wicks. It like magnetize to it. Like, look, click the magnet and then move like the thing near a high or low. Yes, sir. Cheat codes. Just makes our life easier. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things you can do with TradingView. Just make the trading experience better. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a valid one. The best order blocks are gonna be right before a move that clears a high or low. So see how that high cleared the liquidity to the left of it, where that breaker block is now. Those are usually the best ones. So that high would be a good one. Same thing with the one below that you have, because that's the last down candle before the move that took the high to the left of it. You see? Not that one. That's the 4-hour order one down there. Yeah, that one. See how that's the last down candle before the up move, and see how it took the high to the left of it out. Like, it's real low. It's real low. Like right above the 4-hour order block to the left. Yeah, see how it cleared that high? That's why that order block would be more likely to be respected, because that's one that cleared liquidity, and when it clears liquidity and it keeps going one direction, that's institutional order flow. So that's where the banks are wanting to make the market go. So if you know that they want to keep it going there, then you know more than likely at some point it's probably going to come back to that area and respect it. Yeah, technically could, yeah. The thing is, like, it's a breaker block, but you just gotta make sure you're looking for areas that have more than one confluence. So that could be a breaker block, but that might be its only confluence for reason to believe that price will move there. That order block at the bottom might be the only reason, but that order block that currently right above the previous day's low, that breaker block now, there's probably other confluences inside there that we don't even see yet. But there's more there that will make us believe, okay, we should get in here and not here because this is happening here. You know what I mean? Nah, for real. For value gaps, I just use like a blue line now because I don't really mark them up too much. I kind of just eye it. I just look kind of where they are, but I just use a blue line personally because I like to have a cleaner chart now. That's just me though. I use both. I'll have a, like, you know how I would use a box, but I would just use lines, so it'll be on both sides. Because there's times where it will use these fair value gaps as resistance. And you want another tip real quick? When you're moving a line, hold shift. When you move your line. Oh yeah. Now that's how you make straight lines. Yes, sir. 2 tips on a day. 2 tips in a day. Yeah, if I were you, just you don't gotta do it now, but at some point, just try to color coordinate everything to the point where just by looking at it, you know by the color of what it is. You know what I mean? It just makes everything easier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I used to use the same thing. Well, what I used to do for my bullish order blocks, I'll use green boxes, and for bearish order blocks, I'll use red boxes. So that's kind of how I learned the concepts. So I would use that for a few months until I eventually understood how it worked to where I could just use a line and I can anticipate what I want to see happen. But everyone starts somewhere. Mm-hmm. And honestly, bro, if I were you, you don't really need to have the weekly high and low. That's more or less something that you could look at during the beginning of the week to anticipate where price will have a target during the weeks. Because more than likely, it probably will target the previous day's low at this point because we could just anticipate that because of how bearish we are and we only have another day in the market. So more than likely, price might not really push that high. But you can have it. It's all, everyone's different. But personally, I just feel if you have less stuff in your chart, you won't get as confused as much. You get what I'm saying? It's good to always know the previous week's high and week's low, but it's more or less something you just have to look at like once a week, if that makes sense. Because the previous day's high and previous day's low, that's going to be used every single day. So that's something. That's why I mark it up personally. And if you can, try to zoom in a little bit more. Because since we both have like ultra wide monitors, this shit, it be small as hell for us. I see what people be saying now. They be like telling me to zoom in. I'm like, I am zoomed in. Nah, you good though. 15 minutes now. Alright, so now. That's why I try to do it on a lower time frame first, because shit, when you do it on a higher time frame, it'd be all the way up. Nah, you good, bro. We got time. We got nothing but time. I ain't really stressing taking a trade. I know where I want to get in, so. I have my chart to the left anyway, so we good. Oh, price is moving down now. I know, I seen your comment this morning. You were talking about, what's more significant. I replied, I don't know if you've seen it, but I said they're both significant, but you never know which is going to be respect at the end of the day. Because these concepts, they're not really helping us predict the market. They're just giving us logical areas where price is likely to have these reactions that we're looking for. So you never know what's more likely to happen. That's why I said you have to look for areas that have more probabilities. So if you see that somewhere has a breaker block, but somewhere else has a fib setup also with that breaker block, also with, say you're buying below the 12 a.m. open, that's more than one confirmation. So that's a high probability area. So that's what I basically do. I'm a confirmation trader. I'm a confluence trader. I'm just looking for the highest probable setup and what's more likely to happen. I'm not always right. As you can see, I've had a few losses this week, last week. That's just what comes with it. You're not always going to win. You just got to be able to anticipate what's more likely to happen, manage your risk, and take proper risk so then you can then do it again, if that makes sense. They're both significant. It's just different market conditions for each of them. Yeah, cause yeah, we fuck Asian session. Cause the reason I say that is, for one, you got lucky that there was volume. It was at least moving. Because there's a lot of times where you'll get chopped up and you'll take a loss for no reason. Because you don't want to take a loss that you sit there for 2.5 hours in a trade just for it to be a loss. No one wants to do that. Secondly, yeah, you're anticipating a retracement. That's probably what you're just doing. Let's say, look at it this way though. Change the way your perspective is on it. What if you would have lost that trade though? Would you have still been risking more this morning, or would you have lowered your risk if you would have lost that trade? See, and that's where we fuck up. Because now that you took on that agent, you would have been down more than you anticipated, because based off your trade plan. Because if you only trade one session, you're basically managing your risk based off of one session. But if you trade multiple sessions, that's more trades, more risk. And if you win those trades, you're going to be more likely to take a trade in that Asian session again now, because you've seen it work before, right? But now you got to look at that probability wise. What's the probability of me taking a winning long-term trade during Asian session? It's not very high. So that's why it could work. People trade Asian session. Personally, me, fuck that. I've taken a few trades. I've lost a few. I've won a few. But overall, I've noticed if you just wait till New York session, there's way better trade opportunities. You're basically making it so you're taking less trades because you're trading one session. And you're only going to be focused on high probability times. And more than likely, price isn't going to trade into high probability areas during Asian session. There is times that it will. I'm not saying it's never going to happen, but there are. You get what I'm saying? It's not going to, the chance of it time and price happening during Asian session isn't as high. That's why we like to trade New York session, because then we compare London session. New York session is basically the best one, because we can use every session to our advantage, basically. When you're in Asian session, you don't really have nothing. You're trading towards the end of the day, the loss of momentum. You never know where the market's going to try to go tomorrow, if that makes sense. Not even just a session. I just say just trade your plan, because the session isn't the problem. It's that it's not in your plan. That's the problem. Because if you were Asian session trader, okay, it is what it is. And nothing against it. Everyone has their own ways, wins and losses. But now, if you're meant to be, if you're saying you're a New York session trader, but you're taking trades on the Asian session, you're going against yourself. You're just making it more likely that you take those trades again in the future. And you just want to try at all to avoid it. You're learning now, so it's good to do it now. But I'm saying, because if you want to do your FCMO account, you want to be trading the same way you are now that you will be on the FCMO account. So if you're not going to be taking Asian session trades, don't even bother. If you're not going to be risking 3% on a trade, don't even bother. Because you want to act, in order to get the FCMO account, you have to act as if you already have it right now and know what you're doing and how to get it. You have to have that same mindset. You got to have the same and do the same thing, repetitive. Just do the same thing over and over again. Because that's just what, if you know it works, you got to keep on doing that. And you got to be disciplined enough to do that. Because I noticed that I could tell, like, I don't know if you, I be noticing, like, I could tell if you don't post, like, right after we're done trading, more than likely you're probably still trading. More than likely you probably over traded, maybe took a loss. You don't want to post it. Like, most stuff I could just tell because I've been through the same shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I could be like, damn, I know what he's doing because I did that same shit. I'm just like, damn. Then you'll post it later on. I'm like, shit, I was right. Because then you posted yesterday, you was like, I'm down 4%. I was like, damn, I was right. You know what I mean? So it's little shit like that. So now that you were down 4%, that led you to Asian session. It led you to Asian session trying to recoup those losses. And you probably didn't even realize you were doing that. You know what I mean? You probably just thought you saw opportunity. Mental, psychological. This shit's different. Not no cap. Hey man, it's all part of the process. Shit, I don't hold back for no one, not even my friends. Shit, I'm worse with my friends. Cause it's one thing to just not say anything at all about where I'm trying to help. So you know what I mean? It's all coming from a good place. So that's why I do it. But now, so far your markups are looking clean. Me personally, I like them cleaner. But when I was first starting all this, my charts were nothing compared to they are now. It was more, but that's just how you learn. You got to learn to see it enough to where it doesn't have to be as complicated. But this is personally what you will be looking for right now to possibly go short. Where would you be looking to target? The previous day's low? Isn't that 35,800? Okay. And you know, if you favorite the times, if you go back to your time, like the time frame, if you favorite it, it'll just pop out like next to the 1 hour, and you can just click it easier. This you don't gotta keep pulling. I'm all about efficiency. Shit, you know that. I have templates. I have all this just to make my trading and marking up just way easier. Yes, sir. Three tips. 3 trading view tips. 3 tips. Shit, you all good. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you to look at something real quick. When you see that 4 hour, I think it's a 4 hour bullish order block right at that previous day's low you have. Right? That's a bullish 4 hour order block. But do you see now? Look inside that Asian session. What do you see inside that Asian session? 50%. But what do you see inside that 50% there? Because you're on a 1 hour time frame. It's right there. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Go back to the 1 hour. It's there. You'll see it. It's just a one different candle in there. Nah, you got it. I ain't gonna tell you. And look where that's at. The 50% of it. Also, where do you see that? The high of that 4 hour order block at in the brown box, the black box. That's very close to it. You know what I mean? Now, let's say you pull your fib from that low during that East session to the high made during New York session. Oh, take the magnet off. Sometimes it'd be fucking up. I always take it off after I'm done, like with the markup, because like when you pull your fibs, you try to put other stuff, it's like weird. That's at 50%. I'm using that as possible place to enter, in my opinion. I'm looking as a bullish set because that's like my bread and butter setup that I'm looking at right now. Like if you look, you can't see my chart right now, but when you're done, I'll show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at. That's a 1 hour. I'm pretty sure the brown box, the black box is your 4 hour. So just like that. Now, if you were to pull your fib from that low during Asian session to the high created during New York, and you can see where those possible fib retracements are at. Your setup could work. It could definitely work. I'm just going off of what I'm personally seeing. Because at the end of the day, I'm just going off a high probability. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I just know what I'm looking for. Okay. Personally, I would draw them from the bodies. That's what I would do. I would draw them from the bodies of the wicks. Okay, that's good. And then I would pull the bottom one of the last blue candle. That big blue candle though. Like that one that creates the low for that Asian session. And now you can see that the fib areas, the confluence it has. So that's just what I'm looking at personally. And I'm looking to go long at the 1 hour order block. That's my bread and butter setup. I like to catch these retracements. We're already bullish as is. So that's ideally what I'm looking to do. And it's one of the only last down candles in that area. So the likelihood of it being respected will be far more likely. And we see that price wants to be higher, go higher. And we've moved bullish all week. So more than likely, that's what I'm trying to see happen. And the stop loss risk reward is pretty good. If you keep your stop loss at least below the Asian session, which is about 35, 40 pips. Yeah, I would target the highs of that move, and then I'm gonna be looking to target that fair value gap. Ideally, probably half point of it, around that 70.50%. But if you also look to the left, you have a few bigger blocks, like on the lower time frame, that you could potentially look to get out on. But at least you'll be offered at least a 1 to 3 before the trade really could go wrong. Because as long as it reaches for those highs, you could be out of that trade and leave a runner just like that. It's a good amount of risk reward. Now, if you were to look at your sell side, it could still work. Nothing wrong against it. It's just personally, you know what I mean? Because honestly, price could even just stop moving here and just trade higher off of respecting that 50% of your fib and that Asian session high. It could likely do that, you know what I mean? But I know what I want to see, and I'm waiting for what I want to see happen. Yeah, it happens sometimes, but the likelihood of it isn't as likely. But now I'm gonna make myself host again. It was a good markup so far. I fuck with it. But now, let me see. How do I make myself host again? Over here. Reclaim host. Alright, we active. We back. Get my screen back. Give me that. Give me that. But yeah, this is ideally, this is all I have right here. See how I have it so much way more simpler. But this is ideally what I'm waiting to see. Right now, we cleared this low that we had right here. Now we're starting to slowly move bullish. But ideally, I'm looking for price to come in. And mind you, you didn't mark up the 12 a.m. open. That's the only thing you forgot. But then look where the 12 a.m. open is too. Right here. Right here. So now we can look for a possible way. Price comes a little bit low into it. Possibly comes to 50% of that 1 hour order block to 79% before potentially going higher. And we can look to get out majority profit here. So this is a good idea. We'll see what happens. You never know. But if you put the 38.20%, you see it didn't respect it already. So more than likely it's going to at least come down to 62% or to 70.50. And from there, I'm going to be taking my chance. I'm going to have about probably 40 pip stop loss, ideally. When is this? When was this made? Yeah, and we'll be looking for a possible reversal scenario because this will also be creating the low of the day once it trades into this area. So that's something we're gonna watch out for, and that's really all I'm looking for right now. That's really it. Now, of course. Now we just wait. The hard part's done. Now we just wait for a setup to happen, and if it doesn't happen, it is what it is. Now on that short side, what you were looking at something like this. You want the price to come up, tapping these order blocks up here potentially. But you also got to keep in mind that this order block here got respected already. Price came into it once already, so the chance of it getting respected again, it could happen, but the likelihood isn't as high now because it's been respected. The best order blocks are the ones that haven't been used yet or haven't been traded into yet. In my experience, that's what I've learned. So even though it could happen, price could come up, come down, something that could happen. Ideally, I'm looking to take the most high probability setup, and which that would be is looking to go long from this 12 a.m. open, so that I can catch the full expansion if that was to happen. But I'll watch both. We could watch both setups because they could both likely happen. Even if this sell setup isn't a full move, and prices moves up higher to come lower, it could still work out. So even though it's not what I'm looking for, your setup still could end up having reason to have that move. So right now we just wait. We're letting price do its thing. I'm gonna mark up a few price levels I want to keep in mind, so such as 36,000 right here, which is at that area you were looking to have that move. So more than likely that could be a great target later on too, if we are able to go long from down here. So that's somewhere we could be looking to take profit too. Also, we're going to be looking at where else. It's not the main levels in here. What's on here? We got like 950 area, but the main level is 36,000, and then 35,900 down here. So let's keep 36,000 for now. We'll see what happens. But mind you, here's my 4-hour markup on the 4-hour. Nothing crazy, honestly. It's kind of just trash right now. Cleared this low, started moving higher. So ideally, I'm looking for price to possibly keep on moving bullishly. I'm gonna put the 50% of this in here because that's where the price is currently trading back into before price to potentially go higher. So we will see. Ideally, I want the price come a little bit lower before moving higher, but we'll see. This is my daily price is very bearish right now, but ideally if I'm able to take price high, at least to this high, we can then see that sell side scenario I was talking about. We'll see. Ideally everything is bearish, so we are going to keep that in mind. So if we do come up to this area before we come up down here, then I will more than likely try to take this short side scenario. It's more or less whatever happens first, in my opinion. And I'm going to be waiting until 9:30, so we got about 30 minutes. So we're just going to wait. We're going to see what happens. If neither of them happen, just nice little learning day. You learned how to work TradingView a little bit differently, so it's a win-win. 1% better, right? Of course, now your markups are gonna get way cleaner. Yeah, we'll get them all. The one thing I like to have a list. Like, I don't know. Here, I'll try to show you real quick. I'll move my camera. But if you look over here, I have like a whole list of like my trade plan. So my ideal setup, my trade plan, by time I trade, what I'm looking for, what I'm targeting, risk parameters, daily bias. I have all that, and I also have all these sticky notes like on the bottom of my screen down here. Just all stuff, my ideal setup, all my types of setup. So it's always good to just have everything near you at all times, because you never want to forget shit. You always just want to be on top, because you forget a lot of things, because especially with how much you learn, you forget a lot. Nah, it was an older one though, that's why. Mm-hmm. It's But this is my chart, right? My journal right here. This is how I have it. I honestly, bro, I kind of remember how I did it. Here, I'll show you right now. So this is really all I have. I just have the pair name, the date, my trade grade. So A, B, C. I have that. My setup type. These are my two types of setups I look for: a London continuation, New York reversal, bullish and bearish for each. I have my confirmations. So I've just written down everything I'll ever use to ever get into a trade. 15-minute order block all the way up to a daily order block. 15-minute breaker block up to a daily breaker block. Fib long, fib short, fair value gap fill, Asian range 50%, Asian range high, Asian range low. I bought below 12 a.m. I sold above 12 a.m. 200 level, 500 level, 800 level, 00 level, and then fair value gap used as a support resistance. That's the only thing I'll ever use. And I just have it all here. So now whenever I'm taking a trade, I just put what I saw. I put W or L. I also have my time frame. So 15-minute all the way to the daily. Where? Not, this is the time frames I used to analyze it. Not really what happened like on the chart wise, but what I was using to analyze it, where I saw the trade idea, where I saw it all happening, because each time frame has different setups. Then we also have the risk reward I was able to get. This is something I knew. The risk reward, the setup type, and the trade grade is all something new that I added November 1st from these all new trades. And then I have my pip loss, pip gain, and then before after pictures. Usually it's probably the same picture. Honestly, I suck with taking before pictures. It's usually just after and after, if I'm really being honest. But fuck it. Then I have notes for the trade, so shit like that, just to help me with my discipline, what I didn't do, what I should have did, if I did something wrong. Like, look right here, you didn't take profit when you should have, and now you lost the trade. Take profits next time at 1 to 2, dumbass. Shit, that's how I gotta be hard, man. I gotta learn somehow. That's really all it is here. But I'll show you how, like, if you go to add a page, just remember the future templates, go all the way down to like sales assets, and you'll get like this chart here. And then when you get this, just use template, and you could create it how you want. You could delete everything, but then you could add here, you have all these, and here that you could add. Like here, you could add email, checkbox, multi-select. So if you have this, you can have multi things you could select. You can have URLs, so you can put links here. and you like click each top and you put what you will have there. You can have the date. So when you come here and you want to put the date, it'll let you do this. You can just pick the date easily. It just makes everything easier. You can have fun with it, honestly, because I have more than one thing. I use it for my daily range also, so I have all these, like what my daily range is, and I have Bears Day, the type of setup it was. Then I have a screenshot of the daily ranges I send every day in the chat. So just, you can have fun with it, honestly. It's free too, so you guys have fun with all this. I have my mentorship stuff too. That's like for personal shit, so I can see you. Yeah, bro. Having a journal is very important because you can see things that you wouldn't notice by yourself. Damn, press is pushing. We might get that south side setup. Hey, we might see. Yeah, I'm just what I've noticed a lot of the time the past week, prices came to like the Asian session high and just started pushing. Something I've noticed. No, you good. Alright, I'm gonna mark up 50% of this 4-hour order block that I have right here. Yeah, and you can see that's where price came right on into. So what was this? 966. Makes sense. Fix my fib now. So we're gonna see how price reacts. Ideally, I do want to see it come a little bit lower. At least target this 62%, but we might not get that, honestly. Might just get a smaller push to the downside before pushing higher. But 35,948. 948 is right here. This is that 50% of that 4-hour order block right here. Right where price is having this reaction. So it might be good. We might not even get the setup down here, honestly. Really being honest. But I'm about to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna write this little note for Martin real quick. So he just like that. So when he comes back, he sees that shit. But now I'll be back real quick, guys. Give me like a minute. I'm back. You like that little note I left? I don't even know if you've seen it. We active. Alright. Yeah, right now price is moving bullishly. You know why? This order block right here, man. Right where that price started rejecting margin is right at 50% of this order block. So from this low to the high of that order block, now we come down to the 15-minute. Voila! Look at that, right in the middle. So hey, it could have possibly been a trade right there, honestly. You might have missed it, might not. Only time will tell. But once the price starts to close above that 4-hour order block, going short is going to be kind of risky in my opinion. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Because you'll be shorting right at the high of this 4-hour order block. And once we start to push above it, we'll be coming above. So at that point, are we going to be still willing to short? Or do we think it's going to continue to go bullish? What's going on? What's going on, Jay? We chilling right now. We about to see what the market does. Nothing happening so far. We just taking it slow. Just been helping Martin do shit. Market's not really doing too much. Nah, you good, bro. You ain't missed nothing, honestly. I was just helping Martin one-on-one, if anything, while we just wait. But right now, we're just waiting to see if we can get a trade. But at this point, we're going to wait till 9:30. And if we don't see nothing by 9:30, I'm going to just call it a day, just no trades. Because this shit, ain't nothing happening. I say like two, 3 max. But it's like in a small span of time. But like since I trade US30, if I lose a trade, it'll happen fast. So more than likely, I'll see that the trade either still gonna go my way, and I hop in like maybe a minute, 2 minutes later. But honestly, I try to keep my trades as low as possible a day, especially when you're not having the best week. Like I took a W. Monday wasn't Martin, right? We caught the sell. Monday we caught the sell from that high. But then Tuesday, that runner got stopped out. Then I lost this trade. I lost the trade yesterday, and now I'm here. So I'm 2 L's and a W instead of week. So I'm not even going to be rushing shit. I'm just taking it slow, looking for only high probability trades, and that's all I'm doing right now, honestly. But yeah, Martin, the reason that price had this reaction is just that 50%. So ideally, that sell size setup you're looking at up here, it could still work out. But now you got to ask yourself, are you going to be willing to sell right at this order block once you start to trade back above it? Do you trust the setup that much? Or are you going to be willing to just let it go? It's up to you at the end of the day. All your decisions are up to you. So I'm going to leave it up to you. I'm not going to say how I feel about it. I'm going to see how you feel. Because I already know what trade idea I would like to want to see. I would like to see this one happen more likely, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? But hey, there's a lot of confirmation up here. That's one thing I give it. Has more than one. The 36,000 area, 70.50% is right at 36,000. That 15-minute order block. Hey. Even though it might be a little risky, taking it up here, it could still work. It damn well could still work. And if that does work, then more than likely this high up here is going to be the high of the day when it was created at. Damn, that big ass slurries. But created, when was this? Like 4 in the morning. So that would probably be the high of the day. So we'll see. But if price does start to trade lower during that 9:30, making the low of the day, trades in here, I'm taking that long all day. All day long. So we're going to see. Right now we're waiting. We know the 2 trades we're waiting for. Just got to be patient and let them happen. But now, what you call it? Fuck. What was I going to say? Just lost my train of thought. But nah, Jay, I remember you was telling me yesterday you always get stuck around 10K when you want to trade. Say you want to trade, you lose around 2K the next day. So you're like break even basically. Trust me, bro. If you break even is way better than you think. You're halfway there. That's how you got to look at it. Because how long you been trading? All right, that's pretty good for 6 months break even. That's not bad. But the only thing is, it's probably gonna. I say the first year is gonna be a losing year. I feel like that's just with everyone. The first year is just really a losing year, in my opinion. They're like, Martin, how would you feel about that? You've been trading for way more than a year. Oh shit. Oh damn. That's been a minute. He was sick. I said, how would you? I said, usually everyone's first year is like the losing year in trading, in my opinion. Only the strong survive in this shit, and that's a fact. Because the only way you're really gonna succeed is if you really go through hell and back with this trading shit, and you really just never give up no matter what. Those are the ones that are really gonna be here 5 years from now. But hey, break even is way better than a lot of people. Trust me, bro. But one thing that I would recommend is, say if you're having a good win streak, and then you find yourself maybe losing trades, it might be that your confidence is too high after you win those trades. You might have a high level of confidence after you win a trade, and that's just human nature. That's what everybody. But the thing with trading, human nature is literally gonna be the death of trading. Like, human nature is what keeps a lot of people from succeeding when it comes to trading overall. And the reason I say that is because when your confidence gets to you, that's just a human emotion. But everyone, once you have a few winning trades, you just feel like the man. You feel like you could do the same thing over again. But then there's always times where you got to take a setback. So say you made 2,000 today. You're now at 10K. You think maybe, oh, you're going to lose the next trade because you're so used to not being able to break 10K, right? But now say you lower your risk. That's something that can dramatically help you, because even if you now lose that trade, it's only going to be so much more less than what it originally would have been. So now that if you win that trade with that low percentage, you're going to make it past that 10K mark, but you're going to have that confidence to then, okay, I can keep doing this because I've seen it happen now in person. Then it's just, you got to keep on doing that. If you lose a trade, okay, let me lower the risk tomorrow, because you don't want to continually lose more than you want to. Especially on a 10K account, a few bad trades, it could fuck you over if you're not careful. You know what I mean? Is it? You just gotta. The thing is, you gotta lower that risk. Once you're winning a few trades and you have that confidence, just lower your risk, because regardless, you're gonna be trading in the same way. You're gonna be taking the same trades. You gotta just lower the risk so that you don't feel that stress in the trade. Because if you say you're used to risking, how much do you usually risk on a trade? Like money wise, not pip wise. About 2 grand. Okay, so say you risk now 500 to 1,000 on that one trade for potential making maybe 1,000 or 1,500. It's not going to be the average win, but it's not going to be the average loss either. So even if you lose that trade, it's going to be way less. You're not going to go down as much, but you're going to have that confidence. Like, okay, I lost one trade. The price is falling right now, but Martin, just so you know, I'm probably going to get in. But you get what I'm saying? You just got to be able to have that confidence to be able to lower the risk, because you want to be able to manage risk at all costs. We're risk managers before anything. We want to be able to keep our capital so that we can trade again tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? It's long term. We got to think of it long term. So that's one thing I would try implementing. So if you see that you're winning trades, you hit that 10K mark, lower the risk a little bit and just take it slow again. Just think of it as like, okay, I'm building it back up. Because you want to go past that 10K. So say once you get to maybe 12K, or maybe even 13K, you're like, okay, let me go back to risking my 2K now and see how that goes. If you lose it, go back to lowering the risk. But then you at least stay in that 10K area. You won't go too much lower or too much higher, if you get what I'm saying. So you can slowly make your way up once you keep gaining that confidence and keep slowly. And then at some point, you're going to be up to like 15K. And you're like, okay, why am I risking 2K when I can risk 1? Potentially make 1 to 2,000 just on one trade. Slowly. Then you'll gain your confidence. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of mental. It's all a lot of mental shit. Like even with Martin, like earlier, Martin, remember when I was telling you about how you were taking over trading and you didn't even realize the reason you were doing it? Like I'm telling you, it's a lot of psychological shit that gets involved that you never even really think about at the time, because as humans, we don't really look at it like that. But then you got to take a step back sometimes and kind of observe what's going on and observe yourself from like a third person point of view and realize what you're doing and what you could do to help in that situation. So hopefully that gives you a little better understanding. Hopefully you can implement that. More than likely you'll see the difference. You said what? Yeah, this is long term. So the best thing to do is just to make sure you're doing the right thing consistently. That's the best thing you want to be able to do. Yes, sir. We're going to have about a 40. I want to say 35, but I look, you want a 40. Let me see. Stop loss wise. I'm looking. I kind of want to have it below this low for about 30 pips potentially. I think that's a good area. But then again, 40 for potential. This is almost 80. So I'm going to do 35. So right below, like 30, 35 right below this low. So my 1 to 2, ideally, I'll be able to get out in this general area because there is a lot of confluence here. So there is reason to believe we will see a reaction. But damn, we have about 3 minutes to 9:30, so we're going to see what happens. Price is rejecting, but we're going to see. See what happens. Gonna be looking to go long right down here. So if we get that push down, I'm in there. You know, we're just gonna take our risk, see what happens. No cap, we about to find out. Here? Yeah, I ideally want to see it come lower. I wouldn't buy now, in my opinion. Even though it could respect it, but ideally, with my ideal setup, I'll be willing to miss a trade trying to get this entry, so it is what it is. I know what I want to see. We just gotta wait for it. And we about to get that volume to come in, so we're gonna see. Ideally, we are breaking lows. We did break those lows, so let's see. Might just fly up, might just not. All right, looks like we're coming lower. If we can get to that area, I'm buying. Come on. And come on. I'm not in it. All right, I just got in. Let's see. Just have that stop loss, 35 pips. Whatever happens, now happens. Let's see. Let's see if the market gonna clap us again. Oh God, let's see what happens. The market been doing me dirty. We'll see. That's why having your stop loss is the most important thing. Got to be able to manage risk and just, damn, this shit falling. Let's see. Damn, if this really if it really just stops, the South price has been bearish all week, like crazy bearish. Hey, just manage that risk, keep your risk small. That's really all we could do. That shit, yeah, it was a full. Everything's been mad bearish. Like, I ain't gonna lie, you said, yeah, I just got stopped out, but damn. Fast day. Matter of fact, I'm still in. I'm almost stopped out, but still in there. Like, you could probably see it on my screen. My trade. Can you see it? Nah, bro. Honestly, I wouldn't even blame that on you right there, bro. Don't even worry about that. I'm still in, but I'm barely in. Nah, bro. It's mad bearish. Trust me. If anything, I'm probably still gonna get stopped out. But don't even hold yourself to that. You know what I mean? This week hasn't been the best. That's what I've noticed with it. Just don't even put that on you. Shit, we've seen it all week. We've seen the best conditions with US30. We've seen the worst. It's had like it's been pretty bad vibes, not gonna lie. We've had like 4 down days. Now we're slowly rejecting again. Hey, bro, it be like that sometimes. If you think about getting in, just wait for price to really show you wants to go higher, and then hop in on a retracement or a 5-minute. That's really all you got to do, because right now, price could easily come back down, because you never know. This could just be a pullback on the 1 minute to come lower. So wait for price to really start to push higher, and once it starts to break structure, you'll know where it wants to go. You could simply just wait for a lower time frame possible pullback to keep going higher, because you don't want to take an extra risk. Because if it showed you you're wrong once, wait till it at least shows you you're right, because I could still get stopped out. I ain't gonna lie. I already know how US30 be. This shit could just stop, turn around, fuck me up. So you just gotta be mindful. But we'll see what happens. I'll give it time. Just remember, the stop loss is there for a reason. Because look how close it got to previous day's low. Is it really not gonna come forward? It makes you think. Damn, usually you'll say isn't as bearish though. I give it that. It's been bearish as fuck. Now I wouldn't even blame the stop loss, honestly, because it's going towards like almost 40-50 pips, and you got to look at how much the reward is. How much are you going to be willing to gain from the trade? Damn, I almost got stopped out all crazy. Like, look at this. I'm gonna show you the chart. Like, look on the left side, bro. Jesus, that's just not thorough whatsoever. That's the shit to make a grown man cry. Alright, we going up. It has the willingness to go higher, but we're gonna see. Until I get to like that 1-to-1, yeah, I gotta see a willingness to want to go higher. So until I see some highs broken, this could easily just be a pullback on the lower time frame. Go to the 1 minute. Look, this could easily be a pullback that just ends up coming back lower. Hey, if it is, and it stops me out, it is what it is. I know what I want to see. This is my bread and butter setup, like I said this morning. So we're gonna see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. Just as long if you take a trade, you got to be willing to take that loss. $950. Yeah, that's a good area to possibly wait for. That's what I'm saying. This is still keep going lower, bro. Like, I'm looking at it on the 1 minute. Look how it came to this high. So order block. Look at the swiftness now. So if I were you, to stay out until it really shows the willingness. Because I'm still in, but I'm likely, with the way this is moving, it's probably still going to stop me out. But you just got to let it. Just don't take the trade until you see it has that willingness. Because if you would have got back in, this would have been another L right here. So it's just better to wait. Yeah, I'm about to take this L. Damn, that shit came all the way up. But I knew that it could have easily just been a pullback right here on the 1 minute. Look how it came to this order block. And just that momentum to the downside. That shit breezing. Hey, we're gonna see. If I take the L, I'm probably just gonna lower the risk the rest of the week because I've been getting clapped up on US30. No lie. Just hasn't been moving as nice, honestly. It's just been bearish. Bearish conditions on US 30 are not ideal at all. Nah, it's the end of the year, bro. The end of the year. The end of the year is usually choppy and it's just trash. That's why a lot of people are stopping trading, like, for the rest of the year. Yeah, I'm near my... Yeah, of course, it's always experience. Regardless if you win or lose, it's the experience that matters. But this bearish experience, it's just trash. It's just trash. Oh, God. It could still go my way, but the likelihood of that happening, shit, man, who knows? I'm still in somehow. Like, it's just chilling at my stop loss. Like, it doesn't want to hit it. I don't know why. We'll see. We gonna see. Because I'm mad close. Like, that stop loss, I'm surprised the fucking spread ain't stop my ass out. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. Shit, Jacob, you just happen to come into it. It's a shitty time of the year. You should have seen this like a month ago. We was chilling. But hey, that's just market tendencies. Certain times in a year is just not as slow, not as much momentum. Just can't do nothing about it. Just got to be able to not take trades, honestly. That's really what it comes down to. You said... I be doing the same shit. I just got stopped out. Rest in pieces. Got my ass. Yeah, we took this out. Hey, we'll see what it does now. I'm gonna give it like to probably 10 o'clock before I get off it. Just want to see how this is, how this plans out. Yeah, you can see how this has moved though. This has been bearish all day. Not really room for any trades. Like from here, 8 o'clock. This is all that happened. Just consolidated and it fell. That's all that happened. So not really much we could do. Price didn't really go up, didn't really go down. It's kind of ranging here in this area. If you look at it on the higher time frame, it's just everything's just bearish as fuck. At this point, we just gotta let it fall and just we'll wait for this break of structure to the downside at least. Because right now it's kind of just failing to break. And if you look at it on the daily, daily's just bearish too. Everything's just bearish right now. First time in a while that we've really had a bearish market. And now it's coming back up. This shit. I'll get back in if I see like a strong conviction. Like if I see a 5-minute engulfing, then I'll possibly think about getting back in. But if I don't see that, I'm done. I'm just leave that shit. That's why I waited till 9:30. So there's no reason to take more than one trade. Say it again. Yeah. It only got Friday now, so not really much is probably gonna happen. If anything, we might just end up consolidating. Because if you really look at what's happening on a bigger perspective, all this is just like a small range. All this shit. Like, we haven't moved out of this shit box. And now we're slowly moving to the higher, but like I said, I'll think about getting back in this general area if we can make an engulfing on a 5-minute. If we can get an engulfing, I will hop in back in this tree. But if we don't, I'm not hopping back in. Because it's in the same area. That's the only thing with US 30. This is what I was saying, Jacob. How I will get stopped out, but then I will wait, and I can see that my trade didn't really... I just got stopped out because I would need a crazy-ass stop loss to be able to capitalize this move. But just because I got stopped out doesn't mean the direction of the trade I originally wanted to take is wrong, if that makes sense. Because there's still... This could easily just engulf this candle, as it's trying to do right now. Respect all of this area that I was originally trying to get in, and keep going. All it looked like it did was came down, stopped everyone out. Now it's trying to go higher, so we'll see. It depends. It's all situational. I need to see certain things to happen. So I would not hop in this trade unless I see this full candle at least engulf this last candle, because I know if it does that it has a strong willingness to want to go to the top side. But as you can see, it's failing to break any higher. So as long as it's staying inside of this last candle, so this wick is still inside this last candle, is not breaking higher than it, it still could just easily just continue to fall lower. So if I'm gonna hop in and take more risk, I need to at least believe and have a high probability that it's gonna go my way. So if I know I already wanted to take my trade in this general area before, here, I'll go back in time real quick. You can see the reaction at some point that we had right here. You see the reaction we had, that it really wanted to go higher, but the momentum just wasn't with it. Go a little farther. Then you come to where we are now. Price came down, but now is not really respected. The only way price will be able to respect this if it closes above this candle. So until it does that, like I said, it can easily fall like it is doing right now. So it's all situation. You got to look at certain things that are happening. There's certain things that you want to see to be able to hop back into a trade. You just don't want to hop back in because you think it's going to go your way. You want to hop back in because you think it's going to go your way, and it's showing you it wants to go your way, if that makes sense. Because you don't want to just try to predict the market. The market's going to show you where it wants to go. You just want to, it's like hopping on a train. You're not going to go against the train. You're going to want to go where the train's going. You want to follow it. Like if you like counter trend trading is trying to predict it, it's like hopping in front of a train and hoping the train's gonna stop. It might, but shit, it might not. So just gotta be careful. And as you can see, look how prices just failing to break and now it's slowly falling. So that's why you just gotta wait for certain things to happen. Just have reasons to get into a trade, and if you don't see that those reasons happen, just don't even bother. Like once we break this low, I'm probably just not even gonna bother. I'm gonna just end this chart, just take my 1% L for the day. We'll be back tomorrow. Simple. That's why managing risk is very important. If we don't manage risk, yeah, I trade Monday through Friday. I don't trade weekends. No cryptos, none of that. Nah, no cap. Yeah, the casino is just like, it's all, what is it? It's called, fuck, what's that word? Fuck. It's the one that, like, it's that feeling you get. Fuck. It's that feeling you get when you're taking trades, when you're being risky, you're gambling. It's that fuck. Damn. It's gonna make me mad now. Nah, I haven't played at a casino personally. I'm not really the gambling type. I'm real pattern recognition type of bull. Hey, you got a good experience, son. You got a good experience. Not many can say that. We're trading higher now. Let's see. I'm trying to give this candle. I'm trying to see. I need to see an engulfing at least with this candle to the left. Like not with this candle here. I need to see this dark black candle get engulfed right there. I need this to close above it. And until it does, I'm just not gonna hop in. And if it don't do that by 10 a.m., I'm done. I'll just be back tomorrow. Big major thing in trading is just being able to know when to stop and when to take trades. That's really a major skill that people need to learn. Because simply by not getting in the market, you're not going to lose money. And if you're not losing money, you can trade as long as you want if you're not losing money. Because you're just allowing yourself, you have a lot of opportunity to take trades. You have more risks to be able to take trades. But if you're taking a whole bunch of trades, you're opening yourself to much more risk. And then at some point, everyone has a losing streak. Like right now, I'm having a losing streak. Now imagine if I was taking multiple trades a day, losing, I would have got fucked up. That shit would have fucked me up. That's why lowering risk is something very important too. Like that's something major key that people need to really look into. Lowering risk, major. I'll tell you, Jacob, try it out. You'll see. Because once you start lowering that risk, you won't feel that pressure. Because I'm assuming now that since it's happened a few times, once you get that 10K mark, you probably get a little bit of anxiety because you're like, am I going to go higher? Am I going to lose a trade? Because you kind of like, from your experience, you haven't really went past it. So I'm assuming your feelings like kind of get you to an extent. Yeah, I'm telling you. Get to that 10K point, lower the risk, and even if you make only like a $500 in that trade, you're gonna see yourself go past that 10K mark. You'll be like, okay, slowly but surely, grow it to maybe taking like 4 trades, maybe gain like 500 from each, but you're risking maybe only like 250, risking 100. You're risking so little, but since you're at that 10K mark, you're just trying to rebuild. Basically, you made it to 10K, now you're trying to make it to 20. But you gotta start slow because the beginning is always the hardest part. You got that anxiety. So once you get that good, you're like, all right, I got a little cushion now. So now I can risk my normal percent. And even if I lose that percent, I'm back at 10K. And if that happens, lower the risk again. Go slowly, get those losses back. Try to risk that 2K again. And then now you might have that confidence. You might go from being at that 12K to 14. And now you're like, okay, now I made it past it now. I know it's possible. You're gonna have that confidence and you can slowly continue. But nah, that's really it. Right now, prices is bearish, so I'm not gonna take no trades. That's why you gotta wait. Like a lot of people, they probably would have hopped in once they saw this engulfing, but it's always good to wait. Patience pays, trust me. Just being able to wait for certain things to happen is really gonna keep you out of unnecessary trades. Like I've only waited for one trade today, and the trade I took, it's not like it was for no reason, because you can see that it had a reaction at this area for a reason. It didn't do this for no reason. This was a specific area that had a lot of reason to believe price was going to go higher, and just like it did this, it easily could just continue to go higher. Just probability wasn't on my side. You lose sometimes, it is what it is. You just got to be able to manage risk and just to follow your process and just keep it pushing. Don't dwell on one loss. Yeah, you can just see your story. It's just dropping right now like a motherfucker. This shit bleeding. Hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna end it here though. Not much is really happening. Martin, I wouldn't even bother looking for no more trades. Just turn off the charts, Martin. Don't even look at that shit. Don't come back during Asian session. Nothing. Fuck you, study right now. Yeah, get off your phone. Get off your phone, boy. You might be on mute again, bro. How you keep on? I knew it. See, he was muted. I already knew. I didn't even hear you. Nothing. I just assumed. I was like, he was in. Oh, so you sold? Oh, at least you weren't buying then. At least you weren't buying. Shit. I thought you tried to get in for the buy. I was like, oh yeah, you got fucked. You got fucked, man. Alright, yeah, you good then. If you made that scalp, just leave it as a scalp. Just break even, just leave it as is. Cause right now, you can see it's losing that momentum. So at some point, I am anticipating it will go higher, but we don't know where it's gonna go higher. We don't know when. So it's better just to wait and just leave it. Let the market do what it gotta do. Cut our losses short. Yeah, this was the trade I tried to take today. Didn't play out. It is what it is. We come back tomorrow. Just gotta mitigate, just manage risk and mitigate risk. That's all we're here to do. I came in here. You said what? The 12 a.m. open? I was bullish today, if anything. I might not mark it up, but I know psychologically I was bullish. But now I'm going to end it off here. I'll be back some. Damn. I was bullish, but now I'm going to end it off here. I'll be back soon. Damn. That should really ended on me right there. But nah, everyone, hopefully everyone enjoyed this. Hopefully everyone's able to learn something. We're going to be back tomorrow. We took our L. Just take